Today let's take up the topic of petty cash book. First of all, let's understand what a petty cash book is. Petty cash book is that cash book which records all the cash expenses involving petty amounts, right? Petty cash book is something which is prepared by a petty cashier, right? And he is entrusted with the task of taking care of all the transactions involving petty amounts, right? Now, normally the transactions involving petty amounts can be put as your telephone expenses, stationery expenses, cartage expenses, traveling expenses, conveyance expenses, all such things, right? If these transactions which involve very small amounts of cash are put in the main cash book, then the main cash book will contain a lot of entries, and it will be a burden on the main cashier to take care of all these small expenses. So it's a better practice to maintain a petty cash book wherein a petty cashier takes care of all these expenses, right? So basically we can write something like this: petty cash book is the book which is used for the purpose of recording expenses involving petty amounts, right? And who prepares this? This is done by the petty cashier. So petty cashier is responsible for maintaining this petty cash book, and the examples of petty cash examples of the transactions which come in the petty cash book are something like this. Depends on firm to firm, basically, right? Telephone expenses, cartage expenses, right? Stationery, conveyance, etc., right? Okay. Okay, now let's see what are the systems of petty cash. There are two systems of petty cash. One is the ordinary system and one is the impressed system, right? In the ordinary system, the cashier, that is the petty cashier, is given some amount of cash and he spends that money, right? And after spending the whole money that has been given to him, he will submit a detailed account to the head cashier, right? So once he submits that account, and after that again some money will be given to him, like that, right? So that is the ordinary system of petty cash. Now let's try to understand the impress system of petty cash. Now under the impress system, the petty cashier is given a fixed amount at the starting of each period. Like it can be a week, it can be a month, or it can be 15 days, or maybe 2 months, whatever they decide. And they decide a fixed amount of money which will be given to the petty cashier. Now the petty cashier will take care of the expenses from that amount which has been given to him, and at the end of, let's say, a month, suppose at the end of the month, whatever money has been spent by him on petty expenses will be reimbursed to him, so that the balance at the beginning of the next month again becomes equal to the same amount, that fixed amount. So let's say if a petty cashier is given rupees 5,000 per month, right? Now he takes care of all the expenses from this 5,000 rupees. So supposing during the month his total, the petty expenses comes to rupees 3000. Fine. So that means he will have a balance of 2000 at the end of the month, right? Now he will be reimbursed this 3000 rupees which he has spent, so that he again has rupees 5000 at the beginning of the next month, right? At the beginning of the next month. So that is basically the system of the impress system basically. And this rupees 5000, the fixed amount, this is called the impressed money. This is called the impressed money, and the system is called the impressed system, right? Now there are two types of cash books. One is a simple cash book, one is an analytical cash book. First of all, we will look at this simple cash book, simple petty cash book, simple petty cash book and analytical petty cash book, right? So simple petty cash book. Now let's look at the format of this simple petty cash book. It has got the debit side. The debit side has got only amount received, right? Then you have the cash book folio, date, this is the credit side here, the particulars, fine, voucher number and amount paid. So I'll write it here. This is basically the debit side. This is the amount received, the amount which he receives at the beginning of the month, right? Cash book folio number, wherever he wants to give a reference or something, he can put it here, right? And this is the date, particulars, voucher number and amount paid. Now this is your credit side, fine, wherein you will put the date, particulars, amount paid. This is for the payments, and here the amount received will come, right? So here this is basically the amounts paid, right? Now I'll take up a small question wherein I'll have let's see just 4 or 5 transactions here. First of all, let's put a date here, let's say March 1st, right? Received rupees 5000 from the head cashier for petty cash expenses, right? And now let's say March 5th, he says paid conveyance expenses rupees 300, right? March 10th, paid for stationery rupees 400, right? March 12th, again we say paid conveyance rupees 100, right? March 20th, paid cartage rupees 500, right? March 21st, paid bus fare rupees 50, right? March 22nd, office expenses rupees 250, right? And then let's say March 29th, miscellaneous expenses rupees 500, right? Okay, now if I want to make a petty cash book for this, the same format, I think we can do it here itself in this format. Now first of all, the amount received by the petty cashier, how much was that? 5000 rupees, that will come here, right? And now we come to this payment. This is, now we have to put the dates here. March 1st is done. March 1st is when the payment is received. March 5th is paid conveyance, right? So here I'll write March 5th by conveyance. By conveyance. Here we are not going to put any voucher numbers. The amount is 300, right? So here I'll write 300, right? And then the next one, March 10th, paid stationery 400, right? So March 10th, we'll write buy stationery rupees 400, right? And now see, next one is again paid conveyance March 12th 100, right? So here it is March 12th. I'll write buy conveyance once again, and this is 100 rupees, right? And here paid cartage 500, that is March 20th, right? So March 20th buy cartage 500. So whatever is the expense that is put here along with the heading of that, paid bus fare is again conveyance only, so I can put it as conveyance, right? Buy bus fare 50 rupees, right? And March 22nd office expenses 250, right? So here I'll write March 22nd buy office expenses 250 rupees, right? And then finally March 29 we had miscellaneous expenses 500, right? So here I'll write buy miscellaneous expenses 500, right? 500, right? Now we have to, basically this is the total here, 5,000 rupees, right? So this 5,000 has to come on both the sides like this, right? So here I'll write 5,000 and 5,000, and here you have to find out the closing balance, by balance carried down, right? So here you can see this is 300 plus 400 700 plus 100 800, 800 plus 500 1300, 1300, this is 350 plus 250 is 300. So 1300 plus 300 is 1600 plus 500 2100, right? So 2100 is the amount that is paid out of the total of 5,000. So the balancing figure is 2,900. 5,000 minus 2100. So this is the amount basically which he has in hand at the end of the period, and he will be reimbursed this 2100 which he had spent, so that the next month, the starting of the next month, the amount received again comes as, I mean, like, this is the fixed, the total of this column, this is 5,000 again. When you do it for the next month, the balance carried down is 2900 and cash received will be 2100, right? So this way it goes on. So this is how a simple petty cash book is maintained, right? So with that, I'll come to the end of this session. Bye.